Welcome back. Today, we're getting the answers to the 3 most popular questions on the Leadership for Change forum on Our Say. Let's go check it out.
Kate?
Oh dear, look, we report on what happens in government departments across Victoria and some of the agencies about their greenhouse footprint, about energy, water, waste, fleet, air travel, and it's very clear that it does require an organised response, and that does require structure, and that an organisation to be sustainable needs to be committed to what they see as the sustainable outcomes they're seeking to achieve. Structure and organisation are clearly obviously very important, but I also think that what is required from the point of view of the community, or more broadly, is just the champions, and they're there. They often don't feel like they receive the support that they should, or that they need, or that they require. Should's probably not the right word, but that they require. And when you see it happen, when you see people receiving that support, it's evident that you're looking at an organisation itself that really understands about how to look after its talent, how to find ways to make the organisation sustainable. Yarra Valley Water did a great study on its own footprint, its own way of dealing with environmental management systems, and I'd urge you, if you've got the opportunity, to go and have a look at it. The zoo also has a wonderful environmental management systems team that's full of bright sparks and people who are encouraged. They're encouraged sometimes, quite interestingly, this might not be a comment about the zoo, to step out of the structured mode and go from where you are on the ground straight through to the CEO. At the Yarra Valley Water Corp, they took the view that sometimes a skip management capacity was important for getting really good, bright ideas up the food chain. And we saw that happen in a discussion we had with the Victorian Electoral Commission, and you all vote. So you all go into electoral booths where you're voting in cardboard booths that are packed up and used again. Great recycling. You pass those people who are handing you the how to vote cards, and God knows there's a lot of them, and everybody would like to see it stopped, but there's not a lot you can do with the constitutional issues. You get in there and the computers have been shared by the people in Tasmania and Sydney and Victoria and everywhere else, so there's a real ethic of making sure that there is no waste. Couriers aren't used unnecessarily. And what happened with the Victorian Electoral Commission is they've got a wonderful dynamic environmental management systems coordinating team, which is their green team. They've got some fabulous champions in it, and a young bloke who worked there, who was a bright young techie who had some ideas about saving paper, said that he thought that he could do something which was much more efficient and sustainable on the ballot booth than what was currently happening. He was given his head to do it, and suddenly we're saving thousands of reams of paper every time we have an election. That happened because of the way they structure their capacity to get those ideas out of the bright sparks in the organisation through to the people who manage and maintain the hierarchy or the structure. So my point, I suppose, would be, and it's taken me a while to get there, but structure's good, but hierarchy's not always structure, and they're not the same thing, and we need to always be vigilant about that.
Jennifer.
Yeah, it's quite interesting when you want to get other people involved in your passion and how you should go about that. At the zoo, we have close on 700 volunteers who are very active and give us an enormous amount of voluntary manpower. And it makes us stop and ask the question, what's in it for them? Why do people give up whole days of their lives to come and help us out and to help the animals? And it's really important when one's starting with a grassroots movement of understanding who you want to get involved, what's in it for them, what are they looking for through this process. And then I do agree with Jeanette around structure. I recently went down to a local community wanting to volunteer, and they had no idea who they wanted and what they wanted us to be doing. And after we'd sat around for an hour eating a vegan pizza, we then all left. But it really didn't grab the opportunity of saying what they wanted to do. And I think equally, if we look for where these kind of movements are successful, it's often a very passionate person with a good idea, with some organizing skills and the ability to use others to quickly, I mean, they didn't even have sign-up sheets. They didn't know who we were when we left. So we need to get better at that. We also went down to another very good environmental day around electric vehicles, and it said it started at 10, and there we were, 20 people ready at 10, and they said, oh no, everyone comes late, so we're only starting at 10:30. But why did you tell us all to come at 10? We're here. you're all late. So it's being respectful. When you're asking people to join your cause, how are you respecting their time? How are you really inviting them in a way that makes it easy for them, but also makes them feel valued as they join you on your passion?